Chapter 1. The Hunt Begins. The early morning sun cast a dull, pale glow over the courthouse steps. It was a typical day in the city, a sea of people moving in rhythm with the heartbeat of daily life, briefcases swinging, shoes clicking, conversations blending into a low hum. No one paid attention to the man standing on the rooftop across the street. He was invisible to them, as he always had been. His rifle rested comfortably against his shoulder, the cold metal in his hands like an extension of his own body. Honey Badger scanned the crowd below, his heartbeat steady, eyes sharp. The target, Officer Brett Gordon, was leaving the courthouse. Gordon had just been acquitted of charges of excessive force, despite overwhelming evidence, dashcam footage, witness statements, and medical reports. All of it had been swept under the rug, just as expected. The system had failed once again, but this was where Honey Badger came in. He didn't fail. Through the scope, he watched Gordon walk down the courthouse steps with his lawyer, and a smug grin plastered on his face. The man was practically oozing arrogance, as if the entire ordeal had been nothing more than a minor inconvenience in his day. Honey Badger adjusted his position slightly, slowing his breath, timing each inhale and exhale with meticulous care. His mind was clear. No thoughts, no doubts, just precision. He checked the wind speed one last time, accounting for the slight breeze coming in from the west. As Gordon paused on the steps to shake his lawyer's hand, Honey Badger's finger squeezed the trigger. The sound of the shot was drowned out by the noise of the city below. It was clean. One bullet, expertly placed, right between Gordon's eyes. The officer's body crumpled to the ground in a heap. The smug smile wiped clean from his face, replaced by a cold, lifeless stare. The crowd erupted in chaos. Screams pierced the air as people scattered, running in all directions. Cars screeched to a halt, horns blaring. His job was done. The corruption that had shielded Brett Gordon had been wiped away in the blink of an eye. Justice had been served. Honey Badger disassembled his rifle with practiced ease, each movement fluid and automatic. He slid the pieces back into the custom case, his mind already shifting to the next step of his exit. This was his domain. Quiet, efficient, unseen. Within moments, he was gone from the rooftop, blending into the shadows like a ghost. He made his way down the stairwell of the abandoned building, carefully avoiding the security cameras. There were no rushed movements, no unnecessary glances over his shoulder. Honey Badger had planned this hit meticulously. He always did. He was in and out like the wind. As he stepped out onto the street, he blended into the crowd, another face in the sea of chaos that had erupted around the courthouse. Police sirens screamed through the city as law enforcement converged on the scene. But Honey Badger was already blocks away, calm and detached. He slipped into a nearby coffee shop, ordered a black coffee, and took a seat near the window. He watched from afar as more patrol cars, ambulances, and SWAT teams arrived. The media van soon followed, reporters scrambling to get the best shot of the courthouse steps, where Officer Brett Gordon's body now lay covered in a white sheet. The story would dominate the headlines for days, but no one would have any idea who had pulled the trigger. Honey Badger didn't leave traces, not physical ones anyway. He felt no satisfaction, no remorse, nothing at all. The world had one less corrupt cop in it. That was all that mattered. His phone buzzed. A message. He checked it, a brief flicker of interest crossing his otherwise stoic expression. Bobcat. Nice work. Another one down. I've got your next target. This one's even more twisted than Gordon. Call me when you're ready. Honey Badger pocketed the phone and took a sip of his coffee. His mind was already clearing the slate for the next job, his emotions shut off like a switch. It was how he survived in this line of work. Focused, cold, and methodical. As he sat there, the world outside moved on, none the wiser that one of the most dangerous men in the country was sitting quietly among them, planning his next move. But across town, Desiree Lee, an ambitious and sharp-eyed FBI agent, was already at her desk, staring at her computer screen. Her department had just been alerted to the hit. Officer Brett Gordon, another corrupt cop taken out with a sniper's precision. Another trail leading to the infamous assassin she had been tracking for months, the man the media had dubbed Honey Badger. Desiree's jaw clenched as she read through the initial report. She knew this case was going to be a tough one. Honey Badger had taken out 3 targets in the past 6 months, and each time he'd left no trace, no clues. But this time, she promised herself, she would catch him. She was determined to take him down. Her phone rang, snapping her out of her thoughts. "We've got a crime scene. Courthouse steps, high profile. They're calling you in." Desiree grabbed her jacket, her mind already racing. She had been waiting for this moment. She didn't know much about the man she was hunting, but she knew one thing for sure. Honey Badger was the most dangerous game she'd ever faced, and he was always one step ahead. But that was about to change. Thanks for watching this week's episode of Codename Honey Badger. We appreciate your support and hope you enjoyed the ride. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. And don't forget, next week's episode drops right here. Same time, same channel. Until then, stay sharp, stay locked in, and we'll see you next time. This is just the beginning.